morning. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 18th of October. Now if you are new, please subscribe, hit the like buttons guys, and please feel free to comment down below. It's great to hear from you guys and it lets me know kind of where you guys are at as well, and it gives me some good feedback about my readings too, so I do appreciate that as well. Okay, I'll close my eyes, we'll get started and we'll see what comes up. Gosh, I'm getting this visual of like loop to loop. So I'm getting, it's like when a plane just keeps going around and around that and does the loop to loop. I'm getting that returning energy. Things just return. It's a cycle, isn't it? If you think about it. Everything's just going around and around. This is the image I'm getting at the moment. Things are just keep returning. It's not like things are veering off and taking a different direction. Things just keep going round and round. And that's probably what these people are waking up and why they're so stunned at. I did talk about them looking like some mannequins yesterday. But this is what's happening. See, we know about the jab wheel. We all know that. Kept repeating. But now we've got a lot of other things that are kind of repeating. We've got the renewables being repeated like a broken record, hasn't it? We've got the economy. Yes, we've just had floods here in Melbourne I was telling you about, and now we're getting the same stuff. That's starting to affect the produce, and yes, the cost of food's going up again. So here we go again. This is the kind of stuff. They use whatever excuse they can to just keep repeating their, I guess you could say, narrative or the agenda that they're rolling out. They just keep repeating. So I've got this loop-to-loop energy. I'm sure you guys are going through it as well, wherever you guys are living. Everything just returns to the same thing. Probably different narrative, as we know, but it just all goes round and back and round and back and round and back. Very repetitive. It's becoming repetitive not only for us, it's becoming repetitive for everybody else too. We're not the only ones seeing this stuff. It's that broken record energy where it just keeps repeating because it's stuck and there's a scratch on the record. Some of you young ones might not know what a record is out there, but for us oldies, it's like having a scratch on your record and the needle just gets stuck and plays around and around and around. But this is what I'm getting, that loop-to-loop energy. And it's that repetition that gets exhausting for people. Because when things are just going round and round, that's when you kind of get that dazed, dizzy feeling. Like that's what it's kind of saying to me. It's that, like if you're on a ride, I don't go on rides personally. I know some people love them, and you're just going around and around. It's like if you're on one of those, it's showing me this visual of like being on one of those teacups at Disneyland or whatever. You know, that little teacup ride that just spins and goes round and round and round. Not only does it go round, but then it goes around and around. Well, that's what I'm getting, like a picture of people sitting in these teacups getting like really dizzy and just, they can't, you know, when you got that dizzy feeling, you can't like see clearly and you just want to lay down because your equilibrium's all out. Well, that's what I'm getting for pretty much everyone, probably us as well, because we get a bit sick of seeing the repetition of it all. But definitely the people waking up, they're feeling like they're in this teacup going round and round at like Disneyland, and it's making them very giddy because it's the repetitive narrative. We know it, we knew it was going to be. Let's see where else we go today. God, it's shown me these global elites again trying to herd up the cattle. They're really trying to herd in the cattle now. They're getting really serious about it now. It's like showing them all standing like arm in arm stretch. This is all the global leaders, and they're trying to herd in the cattle using their like arms, their body language. They're trying to herd the cattle, which is the people waking up. They don't want them to wake up any further. We know that. To their nonsense and crap narrative. So they're trying whatever they can to contain them again. We've talked a lot here on my channel about us being the naughty children who took the gates off the cattle yard and hid them. Well, now it's like they've rebuilt the cattle yard, these government leaders, and now they've got like stronger fences and stronger gates, and they're trying to like herd all these people waking up. They're trying to herd them back in. And we know they are. We talked about that song, John Lennon's song, Mind Games, the other day. They play a lot of mind game manipulation through the media. We know they do, even on their feeds, Facebook feeds, all this kind of stuff. They're planting lots and lots and lots and lots of seeds, and that's how they do it, with their, not physically with their arms, but with their subliminal messages and the guilt that they put into people as well, because they know what works. Look at the mass psychosis. Just, I've got a video on mass psychosis if anyone wants to go and watch that. I'll leave it over here. It's just really interesting how that mass psychosis worked, and how a lot of these people who are waking up at their own pace are still stuck in that, around the jab wheel. I always say to be very careful of that. Let's see where else we go today. God, I'm getting England, and I'm getting the word the second coming. There could be changes coming in England. I do believe that. Things are not going smoothly right now. I think we could all agree that things are not going smoothly in England right now. Oh my God, what a mishap that's all been. It's showing me this total dysfunctioning parliament, like a government, which we know. What they're saying is there's too many cooks in there. There's too many people now having their say, that no one's coming together with a great solution. Because what they threw at the people, it's saying they threw mud at the people, which we know that they did over there, but it didn't stick. It slid down the wall, and it exposed a lot of the truths behind the mud. So that's what I'm getting over there now. There's this chaos within the parliament, which is a good thing. It's good when things don't go smoothly for these leaders. It's showing me that chaos. It's like people yelling out and trying to have their say, and people trying to be heard. And Liz Truss I'm getting this image now of her standing like the store mannequin that I talked about yesterday. She's just staring at everybody like a deer in the headlights mannequin. and she's just like got people coming at her from every angle. That's basically the image I'm getting for her. But she's trying to hold her stature. So she's trying to maintain her, well, this is what she thinks, her grace, her dignity, her power. She's trying to get that to shine, because she thinks that can override everything that's like coming at her, if she just stays in her own personal power. Oh my God, that's what I'm getting. A mannequin of power. She's not saying a lot. I think they've told her to be quiet because she's made enough stuff up already. Let's see where else we go today. I'm getting Germany again. Germany's coming forward. The people are marching forward in Germany. I am getting that. People are marching towards government. And this could be en masse, because they're seeing government's greed. And what's happening is people are seeing this is all about money, power and wealth. And people don't like it, because you got to admit, it's none of the little people, as we know here, and the peasants that are going to make any money off all of this. They're being taken down to nothing, and they're now seeing it. So that's why it's important that we always remain silent. But I am getting that for Germany, silent at the moment. Maybe not always. This is just at the moment. I think this is more to protect ourselves. So that's what I'm getting for Germany. The people are marching forward. And it's almost showing me that government's getting caught off guard in Germany. I don't think they're ready for the people power in Germany. I think they just think, oh, well, people will just trust them. See, this is like the jab wheel, that people will just trust them because they're government and they know better. But I do feel like the people have a lot of power and strength in numbers in Germany. I'm definitely getting that. And they're starting to march towards government. It's showing me them marching towards government. But the government's not prepared for that. They're sort of not aware of the capacity of the people to stand up and be heard. Let's see where else we go. Hang on a minute. I'm getting Europe. Europe's going through a very destructive phase at the moment. I'm getting that Europe's, what's the word? It's like imploding on itself. So I feel like Europe's making big mistakes at the moment that are causing things to implode internally. The infrastructure's collapsing. The narrative is forming. We know it is. It's been forming for a while now. And this is what I'm getting in Europe. Or they're getting very, very strict over there with misinformation. They're suppressing tons and tons and tons of misinformation from the people. So much is being hidden now in Europe. And that's what someone said the other day. I think it was Dr. John Campbell said something. Who fact checks the fact checkers? Like, who are the fact checkers? Like, who are they to make the decisions of what's a fact and what's not a fact? As we all know here, we're not stupid, are we? We know that half of it is a fact and they take it off because it is a fact and they don't want anyone knowing about it. But I'm getting that for Europe. You're being very, very policed now with misinformation because they do not, this is in Europe, they do not want their narrative detoured off its path. It is all go. That's what they want, all systems go. And that's why there's this like collapsing of the infrastructure a lot in Europe. Oh, there's a lot happening over there. I know that doesn't sound great and positive, but you know, sometimes I just have to give you the information because that's what we need to hear. We need to hear the truth and what's going on. If this is the truth, I mean, I can only give you the guidance that I get told. Let's see where else we go. I'm getting Australia. They're showing me Australia's border force is really being upgraded. So I feel like Australia is really starting to protect its borders now. That's interesting. I wonder why. Yeah. Just because China and everywhere is trying to take over the world. So I am getting that the border force is starting to become stricter. And that's around who comes, which makes no sense, does it? Because they said they were going to bring in all these migrants and all that to fill the job positions that they mandated and got rid of everybody. So there's a lot of people in Australia who don't have work at the moment, but they're going to bring everybody in. So I don't know how this is going to work. This is where it gets really confusing for people, isn't it? They say one thing and then they start doing another. So I am getting that for Australia, that the border force, they're upping their security all around. It's saying all around the top end. All around the top end. There's more military. There's more military. I'm getting that military in the top end of Australia. Anyway, I don't know what's going on up there, but it's not sounding so great, is it? When you're up in your military. I mean, everybody, I know a lot of you guys all want me to talk about the war and that, but the war is not really our experience. I don't really, as you guys are the same, I don't really go down that road because we know it's very complex and it's also, they only feed you what they want you to see and what they want you to hear. So really, we're a little removed from the war-torn countries at the moment because it's not our experience. Our experience is where we're living at that current time. So I try to avoid, and also the fact checkers don't like anyone talking about these things, as we know. So it's something that really puts the spotlight on your channels as well because they don't like anyone, you know, putting misinformation out, do they? Even though it could be true. All right, let's see where else we go today. Oh, God. They're showing me that visual of Joe Biden. Did anyone see that visual of Joe Biden eating that ice cream recently? It's very bad. There's even a visual of him, the Mr. Whippy ice cream truck goes past and with the little jinkling music and he starts following the ice cream truck. Obviously, that's some sort of memory from his childhood. But it's such a bizarre image, isn't it? So I'm getting this Biden going back to his childhood. We all know he is. I feel sorry for you guys over there. It's just become such a laughing stock, isn't it? And no one's doing anything. No one even cares. And like, it's so serious. How can this even be happening? It is, if that was anyone else, Like, this is where I get confused myself about protect the elderly, get the jab, blah, blah, blah. But let's leave this absolute clown running America, who's clearly got severe, not a little bit, severe dementia now. And dementia can take people down very quickly. That's just a big lie right there. Protect the elderly, and let's leave the elderly look completely stupid in front of all the masses of globally around the world. Like, I'm sorry, but that's obvious to these people waking up to, not just us. It's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. But they choose not to see things because they're in the denial bubble. Let's see where else we go, if there's something to close with today. Yeah, the guides are just saying this is for us just to find our footing and keep like climbing up the mountains. They're showing me like finding a good path to get our footing really steady. It's very important that we keep our footing steady when we're climbing up these like escarpments, or we're trying to get that better view or vantage point of things. We've got to keep our footing very steady and secure. That's very important to our journey moving forward. And that's why I think at the moment we're getting told to wear that badge of silence, because this is about keeping ourselves stable and healthy, because we don't want to slip back down the mountain and then have to reclimb it again. This all gets too exhausting if we're doing things like that. So that's why they're saying to make sure you get your footing very structured and really solid. Hang on a second. Yeah, and that's what the guides are saying. Just keep climbing. Just keep climbing out of this mess. It's a mess, isn't it? We're in this big, ginormic mess. So we have to keep climbing and just moving up. They're saying, they're giving me this disco song. Oh my God, we always get a song. Moving on up, nothing can stop me. I don't know who sings it. You probably know it. Moving on up. It's a fun song. So I'm getting that song today. We've got to keep moving on up. And that's with our energy and our sensitivities and opening up. Look, guys, I know I've had a lot of you comment as well lately that you're really frustrated by all this. We all are. This has been the most ridiculous thing we've ever been through. And we want to shake these mannequins and just wake them up. But it's not going to work that way. It's like I said yesterday, because if we keep bombarding them, they'll resist it even more and push away. Because like I said, they don't want to be us. They don't want to be tin hat, flat earthers, conspiracy theorists. They don't want to fall into that category. So they've got to figure all this out themselves and what they're going to, how they're going to navigate it, because it's not for us to worry about anymore. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Look, have a wonderful day, everybody. I will be on. I'll try and do one with the doggos. I keep saying that and then I run out of time sometimes. But anyway, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your silence and keep climbing and keep moving on up like the song. And I will talk to you very soon. Take care, everybody, and I'll say goodbye from Australia. Bye.